Good morning all, and welcome to a little instructional video on how I turn one of these into a puck. Now, it's not rocket science, it's pretty straightforward and probably a lot easier than many people would believe it could be. You don't need a lot of things. You need, like I say, a couple of Palmolive sticks, a pot in which to form your puck. This is a sweet and sour pot from a Chinese takeaway. I like to recycle it, and it just happens to be a great size to make a puck that fits into my Wade scuttle, or indeed just a normal pot just to hold your soap. So you need that, and a grater. Now I have one of these little handy beasts. It's a bit of a hopper. All the grated bits come out the side, and that is as complicated as it gets. So what I've got is a stick that I started to use. I'm going to use that up first. Just an old shave stick, nothing special. Take it out of the holder. This is where it can get a bit annoying if you get little bits of foil stuck to your soap stick. Like I say, annoying more than anything. If you've not attached the holder, then you'll have an easier time of it than me. And once you've done that, the rest is child's play, shall we say. It's a simple case of grated. Now, in the interest of answering some questions up front, what do you do once you've grated it? I'll cover that now because it's not something that you probably want to see in video, because it can take a long time. Essentially what you do once you've grated it is you apply a little water, not a lot, don't need a lot at all, maybe a couple of tablespoons. All you need is enough to help you press the soap into a puck, and then you leave it overnight, basically. There we go. So that's the stick, and you insert it into your grater, or if you've got a manual grater, you can just rub it up and down and essentially just start the grinding process. Now, not going to be able to do this easily on video, so essentially just grind it, and you'll see, in fact, if I show you here, there you go, you can see the soap kind of coming away in curls. You just keep doing that until you filled your pot with one stick, two sticks, depending on the size of your pot. You could do three. I've done two to make a sensible size puck before, and what you end up with is a lot of space in your pot after one stick. I'll show you once this is grated down, and this has been used a few times on the old boat race as a stick. It's a bit of a pain in the backside, if I'm honest, as a stick. It's not the most intuitive thing in the world, but at the same time it's not exactly rocket science. But this makes it a bit easier. So I'm just taking the dregs out of the grater. I'll make sure I wash this properly before I stick some cheddar in there next. And what you end up with after one stick of grinding is, with the dregs, is a pot of soap curls. Get a few that have dropped away. And all I do now is just press them down and start to form a puck. You probably could get away without adding much water, if any. You could just start loading the soap from here, and the natural inclusion of any moisture will start to solidify the soap into a more uniform puck as opposed to an amalgamation of pieces. I'll show you. You can see from the bottom of the puck it's becoming more compressed. So from a pot full compressed you get something like so. And I think just for the crack I will do the second stick. This one is brand new. Oh no, it has got the holder attached. It's been a while since I pulled a stick out of the box. But yeah, same deal all the way through. And that, chaps, is as complicated as it gets. Like I say, a couple of tablespoons of water at most, maybe even one tablespoon of water will do the trick here. Because it's already quite tightly compacted, you're just forcing the issue really. Just add a little water just to solidify the puck. What I'll do, so I'll just grate this one away, compress it again, and then it's actually now Tuesday morning, 5 to 7. I'll come back to you tonight after the addition of some water and show you what you end up with. Let's try and get rid of these annoying little bits of foil. That's the hardest bit of the whole process, is the foil removal. There's something classic about the smell of the old palm olive. It's a nice smell. There we go. So chaps, I will join you again later on tonight to show you what it's like after it's been soaking for the whole day in nothing more than about a tablespoon of water. Catch you again then. And we're back. By the magical passing of time, it is now 6 PM on Tuesday, and we have a partially dehydrated puck of soap. This is what it's like. It's still quite soft, it's still drying, so I maybe put a little bit more water than I'd planned because the way the gratings were, they were quite loose. Now you can see, hopefully if I invert, you can see there's still a little bit of forming to be done on those. Now it's possibly a little bit late now, but we have a perfectly serviceable puck of Palmolive stick. Is it right to call it a stick anymore? No, because it's not really a stick. I could leave this to dry over some artificial heat or in an airing cupboard or something like that to really allow it to dry thoroughly, at which point I would be able to remove it from the pot for use in a scuttle. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my scuttle with the Palmolive puck, it lives here, and I did this one ever so slightly differently, and it's welded itself to my scuttle now due to being used. I did this one by slicing the stick into some pieces and grating around, and then filling in the spaces with the gratings and partially melting it in the microwave. But yeah, there's several different ways you can do it: grating and pressing, slicing and melting, which kind of gives you this kind of effect. You can see obviously the 4 slices here. It's a bit dusty on this here scuttle. I need to give it a wipe down, but yeah, so that was produced in the same size pot that fits in the top there quite nicely. So yeah, that is my short but sweet video on how to make a Palmolive puck from 2 sticks. There we go. So, didn't take a lot of time. Well, the longest bit is waiting for it to dry. Hopefully it'll dry out better by the morning, but like I say, this is an ideal way to keep it because I can put the lid on and it's safe and secure, ideal for travel. If you want to take a brush with you as well, It's easy to store, easy to keep clean and tidy, and it's recycling a pot. Can't complain. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching, chaps. Any questions, give me a shout. I might get some more pots, always a good excuse to have a Chinese, and make another in the way that I did before, slice and melt. One puck. Thanks very much. Bye.